What if I told you that the thing you used to grab for a quick lunch, the bag of chips you tossed in your cart without thinking, or the getaway you planned months in advance, they just don't feel worth the money anymore? You're not imagining it. Everyday things that once felt affordable now leave you with sticker shock. Prices have been climbing for decades, but lately it feels less like a slow rise and more like getting hit by a wave. Let's start with something most of us have leaned on for years: fast food. Once upon a time, grabbing a burger and fries was a go-to for a cheap, quick meal. Not anymore. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, fast food prices are up nearly 50% since 2014, and that's just counting the last decade. It's gotten to the point where a basic combo meal runs you $12 to $15, which rivals what you'd pay sitting down at a neighborhood restaurant, actual plates and silverware included. The reality? Fast food has quietly crept up in price, and the convenience doesn't feel so convenient when you're spending $30 for 2 people to eat in your car. But there's more than just the price tag. Have you noticed those portions seem smaller now? Restaurants are engaging in what's known as shrinkflation, quietly reducing the size of the meal without dropping the price. You're not just paying more, you're getting less. Harvard Business School even released a study that found major brands are shrinking package sizes while hoping most customers won't bat an eye. Add in new hoops like self-service kiosks or app-based ordering, and that quick meal starts feeling like a puzzle. Take a look at your snack habits too. Walking through the grocery store, you'll see Doritos or Cheez-Its going for $6 or $7, sometimes even $8, depending on where you live. And that's for a bag that's half air, so you're shaking the crumbs out before you even make it to the second episode of your show. Analysts at the Wall Street Journal reported that snack prices jumped 26% from 2019 to 2024, while packages got noticeably smaller. Candy didn't escape the price creep either. $3 for a king-size bar or $2 for a tiny pack of M&Ms. For families, those checkout line temptations add up fast. Think about it. When you can buy a whole meal for the price of a bag of chips, it really makes you stop and reconsider. What used to be a casual treat is now bordering on an occasional indulgence. Surveys by Morning Consult show that nearly half of US adults are cutting back on snack foods, not for health reasons, but because the budget just won't stretch. Now, let's zoom out, way out, to big-ticket items: cars. The average price for a new vehicle in the US hit an eye-watering $48,000 in 2024, according to Kelley Blue Book. Even a 5- or 6-year-old used car is selling for over $25,000. And here's the kicker: cars lose value the second you drive them off the lot. Dealers offer ever longer loans, 72, 84 months, sometimes even more, so monthly payments feel manageable, but you could spend almost a decade paying off something that doesn't even last that long. J.D. Power and Consumer Reports have found that newer cars are sometimes less durable, with automakers cutting corners on materials and features to save costs. The bottom line? More people are holding on to their current rides, opting for repairs or alternative transportation instead of jumping into a financial black hole. So what's driving these changes? Sure, inflation gets a lot of the blame, but it's not just that. Supply chain disruptions, higher labor and ingredient costs, even shipping fees, all play a role. Meanwhile, some companies are choosing to protect their profits by passing every last penny to the consumer. And when companies shrink portion sizes, you're less likely to notice right away than if they hike up the price sticker. By now, you might be feeling a little frustrated, maybe even tricked. This isn't just about a few bucks here and there. It's about how everyday stuff, once affordable, is turning into a calculated choice. My advice? Get picky about what really matters, and don't be afraid to skip what doesn't feel worth it anymore. Next time a drive-through meal or a fancy bag of chips catches your eye, ask yourself, is this really giving me the value I want? Stick around, because in part 2, we'll break down more surprising categories where high prices are changing how we live, spend, and enjoy life. Great, let's jump into part 2 and keep this rolling. Ever feel like a vacation is more of a fantasy than an annual ritual these days? You're not alone. Let's break it down. Travel costs have exploded. According to Bankrate, the average cost for a moderate vacation for two, just a weekend away, can easily be $900 to $1,200 for lodging alone, not including food, entertainment, or transportation. Flights for a regular domestic trip often go for $350 to $600 a person, based on data from the US Bureau of Transportation Statistics. And if you're dreaming about taking your whole family on that annual summer trip, sticker shock doesn't begin to cover it. International vacations? Prices have gone through the roof. Meals out, local attractions, and even simple things like cab rides all cost more now, sometimes double what they did a decade ago, according to the Global Business Travel Association. A so-called budget getaway needs so much planning and sacrifice, it hardly feels relaxing. No wonder so many folks now save travel for genuine milestones, not just a long weekend whenever they get the urge. All right, let's move from travel to the closet. Branded clothing is the next culprit. A single shirt or pair of jeans from a big name brand can cost $100, $200, or even more. And let's be real, sometimes you're paying for the name, not the quality. Consumer Reports and Business Insider have highlighted how many brands create massive markups simply because of the logo. Sure, sometimes you get beautiful material or a flawless fit, but lots of clothes come off the exact same factory lines as their generic cousins, so you're really just shelling out for the label. When trends change every season, keeping up means pouring hundreds, maybe thousands, into clothes that often sit at the back of your closet. Why is this happening? The cost of materials is up, especially cotton and synthetics, but most of that pain is in the price tag, not in what you're getting. Plus, TikTok and Instagram drive demand for what's new, making it feel like you're always behind unless you buy. Increasingly, shoppers are realizing it's smarter to invest in a few pieces they love and wear often, rather than chasing every trend. If you're wondering where your paycheck's going, chances are it's hiding in your wardrobe. Now, let's talk entertainment, specifically the movies. Used to be, catching a flick was a cheap, fun night out. But grab 2 tickets at a major chain, add popcorn, soda, and a box of candy, and you're out $40 or more before the previews even finish. For a family of 4, that's $100 easily. Data from the National Association of Theater Owners backs this up. Average prices for movie tickets have steadily crept up, and concession prices are the stuff of memes for a reason. Is it worth it for a barely 2-hour experience when you could wait a couple months and stream the same movie at home for the price of a pizza? Most people are saying no. The cinema spectacle is losing out to living rooms, especially as home entertainment tech gets better and more affordable. Remember, the comfort of your couch is priceless, and there's no sticky floor or loud talker to dodge. So what's the deal with all these price hikes? Sure, inflation is a factor, it always is, but there's more to it. As remote working and digital living take off, demand for some goods has soared while others have plummeted. Supply chains are still playing catch-up from the disruptions of recent years, and companies, facing their own higher costs or eager to recoup losses, often pass those right along to you. But the story doesn't stop there. Technology is changing how we spend too. With easy online price comparisons, a lot of us are making sharper choices rather than snapping up whatever's new. We're getting savvier at spotting what's hype and what's actually worth writing a check for. To wrap up part 2, here's the truth. Expensive isn't always better, and sometimes the new normal just doesn't measure up to the old one. Whether it's travel, clothes, or a night at the movies, knowing the true value, beyond the hype, makes all the difference for your budget and your peace of mind. Stick with me, because in part 3, we'll look at even bigger ticket items and the surprising psychology of what we really value in today's world. Let's kick off part 3 by asking, when's the last time you toured a new house and thought, wow, this really feels worth the price? For most people in 2025, the answer is not lately. Buying a home used to be a mark of security and stability, but today, many are questioning whether new homes deliver the value they promise, or if they're just outrageously expensive status symbols. Here's what you should know. Almost half of homes sold in India's major cities in 2025 were priced above 1 crore rupees, according to Knight Frank. In the US, The average price of a new single-family home hovers around $300,000, with costs reaching $100 to $200 per square foot and even higher in hot markets. Cities are seeing steady price hikes, 6.5% in India, about 3% in the US, with no sign that wages or affordability are keeping up. If you're wondering why so many new houses are unaffordable, it's partly because developers have shifted focus to the luxury and premium segments. The houses are bigger, flashier, and come with a raft of amenities, but entry-level buyers are left in the dust. But what about quality? Here's where things get surprising. A lot of new constructions cut corners, sometimes literally. Recent surveys reveal that 93% of new build buyers in the UK reported at least one problem with their home in the first year. US and Indian buyers echo similar complaints: walls that aren't straight, doors that don't fit, plumbing issues, and even unresolved electrical problems. Builders, pressured by rising costs for land, materials, and labor, sometimes rush jobs or hire less experienced crews. What's advertised as modern luxury can hide issues you don't notice until you've moved in. The story is the same across continents. While energy regulations and tech features are more advanced than ever, it doesn't always translate to lasting craftsmanship or comfort. To sweeten the deal, developers tout smart home features and energy efficiency, thermostats you control with your phone, breezy open plans, and improved insulation. No doubt, these can be major perks: less maintenance, lower utility bills, eco-friendly touches. On paper, it's a future homeowner's dream. The trade-off? You might be paying a hefty premium for shiny tech, but still facing issues with construction quality or neighborhood development. Many new builds are located in growing suburbs, meaning you could be surrounded by ongoing construction for years and waiting for basic amenities to show up. Why is this happening? Besides inflation, it's demand for ready-to-move-in homes that's soared since the pandemic. Buyers want hassle-free options and expect quick handover, which means projects are sometimes rushed. Plus, developers favor high-profit premium projects over lower-cost, high-quality small homes, narrowing the options for ordinary buyers. At the same time, construction costs, land, materials, and labor keep climbing, pushing up the end price. The result is a market flooded with big, expensive homes, but very few affordable, solidly built options. So, what's the practical takeaway? If you're house hunting in 2025, do your homework, scrutinize builders' reputations, visit move-in ready units, and don't get dazzled by surface-level features. Seek out feedback from previous buyers, look for neighborhoods with completed amenities, and always double-check warranty coverage before signing on the dotted line. In some cases, an older, well-built home, even if it needs updates, could outweigh the flash of something brand new. The bigger picture? Whether it's houses, fast food, vacations, or movies, the theme is the same. The new and improved often comes at a much higher cost, but doesn't always deliver on lasting value. In a world where nearly everything has a premium price tag, it pays to be picky and to remember, sometimes the best value isn't the shiniest or newest, but the one that actually stands the test of time. Thanks for sticking with this series. If you found yourself nodding along, maybe it's time to rethink not just where you spend, but what truly feels worth it in your own life.